Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our continuing coverage of the Gabby Petito story, we have some breaking news as of this particular hour, following the heels of a story I just covered with Steve Bannon. From MSNBC, breaking news, sources, human remains found in Florida Nature Reserve. Apparent human remains found after Brain Laundrie's possessions located in Florida Park. So very interesting story. This was breaking, so NBC went to a video break. And here from Microsoft Start from today, this morning, human remains were found near where personal belongings of Brain Laundrie, Gabby Petito's fiance, who's been missing for over a month, turned up in a Florida Nature Preserve, officials said Wednesday. A senior law enforcement official says what appears to be partial human remains have been found in Florida's Carlton Reserve in a location that was previously underwater. There is no confirmation the remains belong to Laundrie. The remains were found near a backpack, according to this source, which may be consistent with the type of items Laundrie may have had in his possession. So this is very similar to the tragic story that we learned about with Gabby Petito and what led up to her final discovery. So we may be in the same kind of situation with this. We have a little more details here from the Daily Beast. Human remains found near Brain Laundrie's backpack at Florida Park. So we see some of this portion already that we've read. What appears to be human remains were discovered near personal items belonging to van lifer Brain Laundrie at a park adjacent to a South Florida Nature Reserve. Researchers have been combing for weeks looking for any sign of the 23-year-old fugitive, the feds announced Wednesday afternoon. Investigators discovered Laundrie's backpack and notebook in an area that up until recently have been underwater, FBI Tampa Special Agent in charge Michael McPherson said at a press conference, adding that it will take several days for the Bureau's evidence response team to process the scene. They found what appear to be human remains, according to McPherson, confirming earlier reports. It is unclear whether or not the remains are Laundrie's, the missing fiancée of the 22-year-old Gabby Petito. So it says here, in a strange twist, Laundrie's parents tipped off cops to the new evidence early Wednesday morning, said the family's lawyer. That's interesting. Just recently they tipped him off. Chris and Robert Laundrie went to the, I'm not going to pronounce that right now, Creek Environmental Park this morning to search for Brian. Attorney Stephen Bartolino said in a statement, the FBI and NPPD were informed last night of Brian's parents' intentions, and they met Chris and Roberta there this morning after a brief search off of a trail that Brian frequented. Some articles belong to Brian were found. As of the now, law enforcement is conducting a more thorough investigation of the area. So, an interesting twist to this story, a tragic story, a sad story that it's one of those things that we follow in America. These types of stories are very popular, I guess, in news cycles. And of course, we know from statistics and telemetry and metrics from the various streaming services that these types of news stories, investigations, I guess, people have that inquisitive nature about themselves. And so they want to keep up with stories like this. And it is sadly a bit tragic to learn this. And of course, we did discover, we did learn about Gabby's death and many different speculations as to how she had succumbed to being choked. And this is kind of on the heels. Now, we're going way back in time here. And then Laundrie kind of reminded me of the Unabomber. And apparently here on the Insider, Tucker Carlson cites a smart analysis from the Unabomber's manifesto during an interview with Andrew Yang about America's two-party system. Now, of course, I'm not going to go into the political ramifications of what they discussed, but you guys may remember the elusiveness of the Unabomber from many years ago. So it kind of just reminded me a little of Brain Laundrie. So this was the latest breaking news that we have. And as we continue to follow this, of course, now it may take some time for the news investigators to actually process all this information. For example, when they find the remains and so forth, it's going to take them time to process it and determine what it is or who it may belong to. So, of course, anyone can, of course, speculate on whether or not it is him. If this is a local area where he frequented, maybe he hung out, maybe he was camping out. I remember hearing stories about how he had bragged to certain individuals about his ability to be out, out in his van or out in the woods for a long period of time and sustain himself. Very similar to the Unabomber, just kind of going off the grid. But eventually, just because of just the nature of our current times and the our technology and in the era that we live in, of course, it can be a little easier to track certain individuals down or track people down, as we saw with the person that was had that trail camera footage of Brian and also of Gabby's van, or the vehicle that they were both in. So that we're able to track all this type of information. So I'll continue to keep an eye on this to continue to see if we gather or get more information and news. Now, it really shouldn't take investigators all that long to come up with the information that they're going to need in this story. Usually 24 hours, maybe more, depending on how backed up the labs are and so forth. So, I mean, if they, made a special effort, they could probably come up with this information at least within 72 hours. Typically, if they're able to get through it as quickly as they can. Sometimes they're a little backed up. But nonetheless, guys, I will continue to keep an eye on this. And if you haven't already, below this video, you will find the various social media links that I belong to. So you can follow me there as I do daily posts, as well as here on the YouTube channel. You see that YouTube channel appearing right there, or the channel icon appearing right there on the screen. You can click on that to subscribe and click notifications. And of course, we'll continue on this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.